This video covers everything we did in class today on Wednesday, December 8th in 7th grade math. Please start by pausing this video, opening up ClassKick, and completing the Do Now. Again, please pause this video, open up ClassKick, and complete the Do Now. You should have tried the Do Now on your own. I'm going to demonstrate one of each problem type. What is 15% of 20? I know that when I know the whole is of 20, and I know the percent, 15, I can calculate the part in the following way. Whole times percent over 100. So in this case, that looks like 20 times 15 over 100. If you were to type that into a calculator, your final answer would be 3. Now, a question like number 3 is different because this time I know the part and I know the whole and I need to calculate the percent. So I'll want to divide part by whole and part divided by whole, can't forget the times 100, is equal to percent. So in this case, 14 divided by 50 times 100, which is equal to 28%. If you haven't already, please pause this video to complete questions 2 and 4. You can use the provided formulas to help you now that you have 2 examples. Once you're finished with the Do Now, and you can always pause this video again, let's cover today's learning target. Given a new amount and a percent increase or decrease, I can find the original amount, which is 100%. You can see that today's lesson was very focused on activity 7.2, which we'll walk through together. Let's take a look at ClassKick slide 3. The first thing we did today was a notice and wonder activity that looks like this. You have a double number line that says cups of chocolate milk, and the question is, what do you notice and what do you wonder? Pause this video to write 2 sentences, I notice and I wonder. There's a few things here that are important to point out. Make sure you have your notice and wonder statement before you unpause this video and continue watching. 10 represents 100%. And when we know what 100% is, we can formulate the rest of the number line. For example, if I split 10 in half, I'm also splitting 100% in half. Half of 10 is 5, and half of 100% is 50. I can also double 10. And I can see that twice 10 or double 10 is 20 and double 100% is 200%. I need to follow the same multiplicative reasoning or multiply my cups of chocolate milk and my percent by the same thing to ensure I'm counting correctly on my number line. These are all equivalent ratios. 10 cups of milk to 100%. 20 cups of milk to 200%. Every single ratio pair in the double number line is equivalent. Notice that it is possible to move up past 100%. Or in other words, it's possible to have percentages that are greater than 100. It simply means that our final amount is greater than whatever amount is represented by 100%. Let's take a look at ClassKick slide 4. Slide 4 says, for each problem, complete the double number line to show the percentages that correspond to the original amount and the new amount. Question 1. The gas tank in Dad's car holds 12 gallons. The gas tank in Mom's truck holds 50% more than that. How much gas does the truck's tank hold? Well, we know that the gas tank in Dad's car holds 12 gallons, and we're going to be looking for 50% more than that, which means that 12 is represented by 100%. If 12 is 100%, what numbers belong here and here on the number line? Please pause the video to try question 1 on your own. So, we know that we are splitting up 12 into 2 equal groups. 1 group, 2 groups, which means the number in this box needs to be half of 12. Well, half of 12 is 6, and we know that after 12 will come 18. Because for every time we increase by 50%, we're increasing by 6 gallons. We knew that was the case because when we split 100% in half, we also needed to split 12 in half. That means that Mom's tank holds 50% more, which is a final answer of 18 gallons. Because we can see 50% more than 100, 50% more than 100 show up here on our double number line. Question 2. At a movie theater, the size of popcorn bags decreased by 20%. If the old bags held 15 cups of popcorn, how much do the new bags hold? Well, let's annotate. The size of popcorn bags decreased by 20%. If the old bags held 15 cups of popcorn, how much do the new bags hold? I know that 100% is represented by the old bags. I know that's true because we're looking from a decrease from the old bags, which means that 100% is going to be represented by 15. Now, on this number line, we're counting by 20%, which means we're splitting up 15 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. Please pause this video to give question 2 a try. You need to figure out what we're counting by in order to line up number of cups of popcorn with 20, 40, 60, 80%. Pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, so hopefully you were able to give that a try. You might have noticed that we're dividing 15 into 5 equal sized groups, 15 divided by 5, and so each group is 3. We'll want to double check that that works on our number line. 3, 6, 9, 12, and I do end up at 15. After 15 would come 18. Now, notice that when I counted by 3s, I had a number that filled every space, so I know I chose an appropriate way to scale my number line. The question is asking me what happens if the size of bags decreased by 20%. Remember that 100% is the size of the old bag, which means that we are decreasing, moving in the left direction, by 20%. That means that the new bags will hold 12 cups of popcorn because we decreased by 20% for 80%, which is 12 cups. You'll see question 3 on slide 4. A school had 1,200 students last year and only 1,080 students this year. What was the percent decrease in the number of students? I'm going to read the problem a second time to annotate. A school had 1,200 students last year and only 1,080 students this year. What was the percent decrease in the number of students? Well, I know that my original amount is 1,200 students. And so I'm going to go ahead and write 100% on the double number line under 1,200. That's the amount of students I'm starting with, or another keyword that we used a lot in class is the original. And so I know that that is 100%. Now, this question's a little bit different because my number line is scaled on the top, and I need to figure out what belongs on each of the percent tick marks. I can see that I'm splitting up 100% into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups. And so I know that if I'm dividing 100% into 10 groups, I'm counting by tens. We can always double check that. We just want to make sure that if we count by tens, we end up in the correct place, which is at 100%. So, we know that this year the school only had 1,080 students, which is here on the number line. And 1,080 students is represented by 90%. But we got to be careful about the question because the question asks us, what was the percentage decrease in the number of students? Well, if the new amount is 90%, that means that the percentage decrease was 10%. On slide 4, you'll see questions 4, 5, and 6. I would like you to pause this video and please complete 4, 5, and 6. Come back to the video when you're finished. I'm not going to go through each of these questions in the video, but I will post the notes in Schoology in the main folder for today, so you can take a look to make sure your answers are correct. Make sure you're taking your time on these problems, underlining keywords like I did here, to ensure you have all the information input correctly. Before listening to the rest of this video, make sure that you have completed 3, 4, 5, and 6 on slide 4. Task 3. 2 students are working on the same problem. A box has 20% more juice in its new packaging. The original packaging held 12 fluid ounces. How much juice does the new packaging hold? So I know that the original juice had 12 fluid ounces, which means that 12 fluid ounces should be 100%. And I'm just going to make that note right off the bat. Here's how Priya set up her double number line, and here is how Claire set up her double number line. Do you agree with either of them? Explain or show your reasoning. I would like you to pause this video and complete slide 6. You should have a full sentence here on slide 6. At this point, you should have completed all the questions in your ClassKick slides 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's summarize the lesson. We can use a double number line diagram to show information about percent increase and percent decrease. When we know the initial amount of cereal is 500 grams, we know that 500 is lined up with 100% in the diagram. We can find a 20% increase by adding 20% of 500. And in the diagram, we see we add 20%, so we're adding 100 grams of cereal. If the initial amount is decreased by 40, we can find how much cereal there is by subtracting 40%. So we'd be moving 40% in the leftward direction. The big key for today's lesson is here. To solve percent problems, we need to be clear about what corresponds to 100%. For example, suppose there are 20 students in a class and we know there's an increase of 25% from last year. The number of students in the class last year corresponds to 100%. And the key word here that we used in class is original. The original or starting amount is usually going to correspond to 100%. When you're finished watching this video, you have 2 steps. First is your exit ticket, which is going to be located on slide 8. Your second step is homework, and tonight's homework is going to be posted in the main folder in Schoology. As always, if you have any questions, please make sure to send me an email.